Good morning. Good morning. So, welcome at ICAI classes. Let's start with the good morning. Yes, a new experience of giving and taking classes on Sunday. Hai? So, it means for now you are going to be too much serious in your studies because you are going to study on Sunday also. Otherwise, normally we people are assuming that Sunday is a holiday, but today you're going to study. It means for you are going to clear the exam if you will do serious studies. Yes, it is Kiran Shukla, good morning, Divya, Devraj, and everyone. There are many students who have sent their attendance. बेटा सभी की attendance तो नहीं आई. All have not sent the attendance. So when you will send good morning, it will automatically add energy in your voice and your workings. So send good morning fast. Good morning, sir. Please explain willful defaulter. Yes, today we have to discuss about the concepts which you have already read. Willful defaulter meant for the person who has not made the payment to us, intentionally not made the payment to us. One thing is he's an insolvent person, he doesn't have money with him. So due to that reason, he is not making payment. That is not a willful defaulter. Willful defaulter is who have already sufficient resources with him, who have sufficient amount with him, but he is not making payment to you. So that is called willful defaulter. For CS students, every day is same, sir. No, no, beta. You have the complete right to enjoy your life. Just make a balance of each and everything. Because your output will automatically increase if you will study with the balance. When I was studying, I remember at that time I was using a proper planned schedule that how I have to study, and that always give me the benefit. So it is always required that you should have to go for a morning walk or evening walk, and you should have to go out after approximately every 1 hour of your studies. You should have to take fresh air. You should have a proper room where you are studying, and that room should be a room where natural light and natural air is available. Some beautiful environment can be made by using instrumental music while studying. Life is not boring. God has given you the life to enjoy it, but that enjoyment must be your with honesty with you yourself, not with dishonesty with yourself. Enjoyment must give you the benefit. No enjoyment should be done which is going to give you the negative benefits later on. So honesty must be with you. Otherwise, you must have to enjoy. सर हमारा हमारी आदत हो गई. रियली सर मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता था कि आज संडे है. गुड गुड डियर सर, वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम? बेटा आई एम फ्रॉम लुधियाना. लुधियाना पंजाब. सॉरी सर, इट इज नॉट गुड इवनिंग बट इट्स गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर व्हाट इज एंजॉयमेंट? आई फॉरगॉट. Okay. When you forget enjoyment, you are not able to clear CA. I would like to tell you, when you will make a balance, then only you can clear CA. And the benefit of CA is only if I am going to live my life. Okay. So I'm not saying that you should have to go out and enjoy only. You should have to make a balance. Your output will be double when you will study early in the morning. That is when the environment is silent. At that time, when you are studying, you will get more benefit. So try to study in a silent environment with some instrumental music, and then you will have to go and see TV also for half an hour a day, because in that case obviously you will enjoy, but you should have not have to use YouTube mobiles. Okay, YouTube on mobile, you are seeing something on YouTube or on mobile, that is not good enough. Instead, that should be seen on TV. That will be better. You should go into the natural air, natural light. That will be always better. आज आपकी ओर से क्लास ले रहे हो आप आप कहीं और से क्लास ले रहे हो. एग्जैक्टली बेटा, आई एम टेकिंग क्लास फ्रॉम होम टुडे. अर्लियर आई वाज टेकिंग फ्रॉम स्टूडियो. नाउ कमिंग टू द क्लास. So start with the topics. Send me the doubts if there is any. Enjoyment is not PUBG. Enjoyment is when you are going into the natural environment, you are going to the garden, you are going to going to a cycling, you are going to running. That is called enjoyment, beta. Please clear the application money concept, trade receivable aging schedule, and 11.159 to 162 pages relationship with stock of companies. Better you may ask one by one points one by one. I would like to answer without seeing the topic, because if I'll see the topic, obviously it will be too lengthy. Let's talk on the point by point discussion. Like you are asking application money concept. Application money is very simple. Application money that meant for when company is going to issue shares, then company issue make a concept of issuing an application. Theory is to be read by you. It is not required to be. It is just to be go through. We are not going to get any question from that, so that is not required to be done in depth. Simply, whenever company is going to issue shares, then company gives a call to the public to apply shares. When public applies the share, then it is called application money, beta. And this application money is refundable if minimum limit is not minimum conditions are not fulfilled. There are some conditions which are given there that is to be fulfilled. Only then company go for allotment of share. Otherwise, company will refund the application money. Okay. Aging schedule meant for aging schedule. That is also very good point. Aging schedule meant for when we are selling goods on credit to debtors. Then those debtors will have to make the payment within the due date. So within due date, assume the due date is first of 15th of April 23. Now, what is aging? Aging meant for how old these debtors are. How old these debtors. So, what is the age of the debtors? Age means from this due date, how much time is further expired and they have not made the payment. If they have not made the payment up to 15th of June 23, it means for age of debtor is 2 months. So this is called aging schedule. Okay. What? Okay. Sir, no doubt in theory, I read it. पैसे कमाएंगे नहीं तो कैसे अम्यूजमेंट करेंगे, पहले सीए बनना चाहिए. ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर यू. ओके, कमिंग बैक. In this way also you may take the meaning. A share warrant. What is share warrant? It is a contract between an individual and an organization that allows the individual to trade the company shares at a fixed price on or before a pre-decided date. So the price is called strict price, and the date before it. In other words, if you will like to see, then we can say it is just like shares. I already mentioned you. It is just like shares. It is nothing different from the share. A stock warrant is a financial instrument that gives the holder the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a specified number of shares. So company has given you a right to purchase a specified number of shares at a predetermined price with a certain time frame. So time is also decided that you can purchase these shares within 3 months, and this is a price. And when you purchase it, it is called share warrant. Until unless sorry, when you will make the payment, only then it will be shown in the balance sheet. Okay, because only then consideration take place. Otherwise, it is just a you may say option given, offer given to the public. It is not accepted by them. Once they will apply for the share, it is called application. Okay. So let's come to the questions now. Now we have many questions with us. Let's start with those. Today we will do one question incomplete. One question will be done by us. पूरा एक question करेंगे so that you should understand each and every concept. Let's do the question where profit loss and balance sheet both are there. Uh, let's do unsolved question, that will be better. Surgery debenture mean it is securities issued by the organization fixed rate against the asset. It is correct or not? वैसे तो this is 100% correct, but I think you should not have any problem in the meaning of debenture. If today you are asking what is the meaning of debenture, that means for you are very weak in accounting. So your knowledge is very weak. I would like to suggest you must have to study it in a proper way. Otherwise, you will suffer in the exams. Please explain the relationship with stock of companies. That is completely theory. I am not going to discuss it, Prasad, because that is not going to come into the exam. And I have only today as well as tomorrow's lecture to cover these financial statements. Otherwise, we will be stuck. We are going to discuss stock of companies, then we will be stuck in this chapter, and it will not be possible. We are not going to learn theory beta. We are going to learn the application of the practical points only. Okay, don't be engaged in the complete theoretical part in your book, because whatever practical part is there, that I have already covered for you. How to learn or remember balance sheet and profit and loss format? Just do 5 or 6 questions properly in a format, then automatically you will remember the format. Okay, so let's start with that. Yeah, this is a good question. Question number seventh, but in this only balance sheet is there. Chalo, no problem, let's start with the balance sheet only. Let's do question number seventh, beta. But after preparing its profit or loss account, it is given to you. Let's do it in a proper format. I would like to suggest you illustration number 7. You should have to open your books or notes, because I will not show question now. Question I will read from the book and solve it on this board, so that time should be saved. Do it with me. First of all, prepare a proper format. The name of the businessman is Bose and Sen Limited. So name of the company is given to you. We have to prepare balance sheet. Balance sheet is always as on. To be as on 31st of March 21. Then there are three columns mainly. One is amount, second is working note number, third is particulars, and anything else if required we will write it. So it will be particulars. Note number we are calling it, otherwise it may be also named as working note, but here in the balance sheet we are using it as note number. Note number. Okay, and this is the figures at the end of the current accounting period. Figures at the end of current accounting period. Now format is very simple. We have common heads. You should have to remember that. First head is always share capital. Second head is reserve and surplus. Third head is long-term borrowings. Which is also called non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities. So you may write it as it is. Preferably you may write it as it is. उसी तरह से लिख देते हैं. First of all, main heading is share holders fund. Under that there will be share capital. You may give a serial number to it also. This may be named as serial number. Serial number one is shareholder fund, under which there will be share capital. So it is a simple share capital heading in which you will have to go for details that we will make in working note. And next is reserve and surplus, because this is a common point which is to be shown. A point, B point under the head 1. This will be named as reserve and surplus. Short form is not allowed. Okay. Reserve and surplus is there, and then second heading is there, because under shareholder fund we have only two headings. Okay. Under point number two, what we have? We have non-current liabilities. Okay. Under which we have long-term borrowings. It may be classified as secured, unsecured. We have already studied है ना, आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा already. Long-term borrowings, bank loan or like that. There will be number of points under it. So let's see how what is available with us. For that we have to prepare notes also. So note number one is there. We have to prepare it. Share capital. This also can be prepared in a proper, you may say, headings. We may give a heading notes to accounts. Okay. In notes to accounts, what you can do? You can also go for proper format. Details, amount, and here you can give a note number. Number, particulars. It is not compulsory to be written. It may or may not be written. Details, because this is in working note. So presentation counts, but not too much in rupees. So this is rupees in thousands or lakhs. See here it is. In seventh question, it is in simple rupees. So share capital. He has mentioned you that there are equity share capital fully paid up shares of rupees 10 is 70 lakh. No other share capital, that is preference share capital, is not given. The following additional, if you will go into the details, then here it is mentioned following additional information is also provided. 4 lakh 20,000 fully paid equity shares was allotted as consideration for land and building. So it is not given against cash. It is to be shown separately, or we may give it in brackets. Any other point relating to share capital is given in the notes or not? See, nothing else is given to you. So this is just a matter of presentation, that we have equity share capital of rupees 70 lakh. Out of that, 4 lakh 20,000 is fully paid equity shares which were allotted as consideration for land and building. Any other? Yeah, calls in area are given to you. So tell me one thing, how calls in area are to be shown? आप लोग पढ़ के आए हो ना? You have already studied the lecture. Just tell me how calls in area is to be shown. Ashish Vahal. Okay. Madhav Tiwari. Beta, please send your query once again. Question number 9 is also a good question. We will do that, beta. No problem. We will come to that. I am just doing one question for you and then we will do others also. There's no worry. Sir, my comment is visible. Yes. Is there a class tomorrow? No, tomorrow class is not there. Now next class will be on Wednesday, beta. Wednesday. Okay. The class in the next week are on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Accounts class. Remaining classes will be as per the schedule. I don't know what is the schedule. In the question, previous year figures are missing. So it means for we will not have to make a column for that. If previous year figures are given to you, then in case of balance sheet, previous year figures must also be shown. Okay. Sir, under shareholders fund, there is money received against share warrant also. Okay. Yeah, that is the way of presentation, that this much money is received against uh, shareholders fund. That's it. It is to be deducted from paid up capital as it is not received by Parth. Very good answer. Rito, very good answer. Pratina, Madhav, these four people have studied only. Remaining have not studied. Muhammad Sohail, very good. Everyone must give the answer. Anuradha, sir, credit balance means liability side, na? Credit balance means liability side, beta. This is right. So this is to be deducted from it. So let's start with this. Note number one, in this equity share capital of 7 lakh equity shares at the rate of rupees 10 per share. So it is 70 lakh rupees beta. Now in this you have to show that out of 7 lakh, 4 lakh 20,000, 4 lakh 20,000 shares, है ना? Shares have been issued uh, for consideration other than cash. For consideration other than cash. Like this, you have to write. It is compulsory. So this is a presentation matter. Minus calls in area that is given to you in balance sheet. See, in the trial balance, it is given to you. Nothing else is given to you. So this comes to an end. Then working on number two. Reserve and surplus. Under reserve and surplus, what is given to you? Check it out. General reserve is given to you. 15 lakh 49,100. Loan from SFC. This will go. Let's discuss one by one all the points so that you can do it fast. Let's discuss all the points given in trial balance where it will be shown. Loan from SFC. This is a long-term borrowing. Loans unsecured. This is also long-term. Sundry creditors. This will go under trade payables. Profit and loss account. This will go under reserve and surplus. Provision for taxation go to provisions. Calls in area will be adjusted in your equity share capital. Land, these are non-current assets. Building, non-current. Plant and machinery, non-current. The exact wording is property, plant and equipments. Under that, land, building, plant and machinery, all will be covered. Furniture and fixture. Inventories are current assets, all we know. Trade receivables, current asset. Advance, short-term borrowings, this is also current, coming under current liabilities, current assets. Cash in hand, current asset. Balance with banks, cash and bank, cash and cash equivalent, this will be a subheading. Under that, cash in hand and balance with bank will be shown. Preliminary expenses, very good point. Preliminary expenses will be shown. How it will be shown? Tell me. How preliminary expenses will be shown, beta? Just tell me fast. इसको कैसे show करेंगे? Those who have studied may tell better. Tell me better. Sir ji, illustration number 7. Yes, yes. Beta, illustration number 7 we are doing. Okay, 69 lakh 93,000. Okay. नाउ रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में क्या क्या आने वाला है, जल्दी करो फास्ट। प्रीलिमिनरी एक्सपेंसेस, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। देखो, वी नीड नॉट टू leave everything on the concepts which we have studied earlier. Some concepts are new, so due to that reason, I have already mentioned you that you have to read the theory part, and in that theory part, you will have to find out the practical, that where it will be settled. If you will see that in the lectures, that where preliminary expenses are to be adjusted, that is given specifically that preliminary expenses are to be adjusted out of the general reserve. So you people have mentioned, only one student have mentioned me, preliminary expenses 1/5 every year up to 5 years as expenses, sir. It is to be written off, beta. Preliminary expenses are to be written off. This is 93,100, but this must be read by you also. Read in the notes also. All the notes you must have to study once. The following additional information. Out of that, cost of building, cost of plant, cost of furniture is given to you. Trade receivables are due for more than 6 months. So this will be a matter of presentation. We have to show them separately in trade receivables. The amount of balance with bank include 18,000 with a bank, which is not a scheduled bank. This is just to be shown, nothing else. And the deposit of rupees 5 lakh are for a period of 9 months. This is also to be shown only. Unsecured loan includes 2 lakh from a bank and 1 lakh from related parties. This is also to be presented. One thing is there, that unsecured loan is also a matter of presentation. Keep it into your mind. This is a good point. Entire amount of preliminary expenses to be written off by adjusting from opening balance of general reserve. Read point number 7, beta. So otherwise, if you will see, it is a miscellaneous expenditure. We all know it will be shown in the asset side, but it is to be written off. So here it is specifically mentioned that it is to be written off in against your general reserve. So point number 7 is very important. You have to adjust it accordingly. We have general reserve with us. Short form is not allowed in the exam. Basically, some writing problem is there because we doesn't have so much system where we can write each and everything. And second thing is, this question will give you 15 to 20 minutes in the exam without giving any guidance to someone. So here we have to guide you also. So due to that reason, we are using short forms, but you are not allowed to use it in the exams. Preliminary expenses 93,100. So this is 14 lakh 56,000. Then profit or loss account given in the credit balance. So credit balance means it is a profit which will be added to it, 7 lakh rupees. So total reserve and surplus is 21 lakh 56,000, beta. Note number third, long term borrowings. So that is given to you. There are two types of loans given to you, secured and unsecured. See, both type of loans are given to you. Few are secured and few are unsecured. Because he says 10 lakh 50,000 is the total loan. Out of that, secured by hypothecation of plant and machinery, repayable within 1 year, which is repayable within 1 year, is 2 lakh rupees. Okay. So that means for which is repayable within 1 year is a short term borrowing. It's not long term borrowing. So it will be deducted from it. Loans unsecured, 8 lakh 47,000. Nothing else. Yeah. In point number sixth also, point number sixth, unsecured loans including 2 lakh from a bank and 1 lakh from related parties. Very good points. This is also read by you in lectures. In that we have already studied that related parties loan will be assumed as an unsecured loan. And by remaining, he has also mentioned that there is a bank loan of rupees 2 lakh in unsecured loans, unsecured loan worth rupees 8 lakh 47,000. So that will be bifurcated. 8 lakh 47,000 will be bifurcated into 2 lakh, 1 lakh, and the remaining 5 lakh 47,000. So the presentation will be accordingly. See long-term borrowings. It is secured. In that we have term loans. This is called term loan, which is taken for a particular period. It is named as term loan. In that we have loan from SFC, 10 lakh 50,000. Out of that, short-term borrowing is there, 2 lakh rupees. So 8 lakh 50,000 will be out. Unsecured loans. In that we have bank loan beta. Mentioned you in point 2 lakh. And then loan from related parties. Related party loan, 1 lakh. And then remaining, you may call it as other loans. So this will be obviously total is 8 lakh 47,000. See, in your trial balance, minus 3 lakh will be deducted, which has been made clear that to whom it belongs or what is the type of it. So it will be 8 lakh 47,000, which will be shown outside. So total is 16 lakh 97,000. This is long-term borrowings. I think this is clear to everyone. So fourth is there. Now we have short-term borrowings. In short-term borrowings, we have this one, which has been excluded here. This is a short-term borrowing, 2 lakh rupees. What it is? This is the loan from SFC. Loan from SFC worth rupees 2 lakh payable in 1 year. In 12 months, we can say. So any amount which is payable in 12 months is current liability. So this will be assumed as a current liability worth rupees 2 lakh. Any other short-term borrowings? Okay. How we get 8,47,000 beta? See your trial balance beta. In your trial balance, it is given that total 8,47,000 is unsecured loan. We have just bifurcated that 8,47,000 in 2 lakh. This bifurcation is on the basis of point number 6, 2 lakh, 1 lakh, and 5,47,000 balance. This is a balance figure, you can say. This 8,47,000 is already given in trial balance. 2 lakh and 1 lakh is given to you, and automatically balance figure will be 5,47,000 beta. Any other point? Current liabilities. In current liabilities, there are trade payables. Trade payables are given to you. Yeah, sundry creditors. So there is no point regarding sundry creditors, so that can be shown directly. Short-term borrowings we have already done, and there's a provision for taxation given in your trial balance. So provision for taxation is short-term provision that will also be shown. Short-term provisioning that will also be shown in that. So it can also be prepared as normal. Then we have debit balance. Debit balance is calls in area we have already adjusted. Point number sixth, point number fifth. Point number fifth is we are starting with the assets now. In assets we have property, plant, and इक्विपमेंट हेडिंग. पीपीई कहते हैं कंपनीज में इसको, पीपीई. तो कंपनीज में ये हेडिंग चलता है, ये रूटीन है. In that he has given you cost of building. In point number 2 he has given you cost of building, cost of plant and machinery, cost of furniture and fixture. Above he has given you the return on value in trial balance. So if in case of companies it is mandatory to show provision for depreciation also. Accumulated depreciation must be shown. We can't leave that. So it is mandatory, it is compulsory. Means assets are to be shown at cost only. So it will always be given to you. If it is not given only, then you can show it at return on value. Otherwise, you must have to show it on cost. See, this is given to you. ₹14 lakh land, whereas cost of land is not cost of land is not given to you. Okay, so it means for there is no depreciation on land. In case of obviously land have no depreciation. Building is given at 20 lakh 50,000, whereas its cost is 28 lakh. That means for there is a difference of rupees 7 lakh 50,000. If you will see, there is a difference of rupees 28 lakh minus 20 lakh 50,000. So the difference of rupees 7 lakh 50,000 is the depreciation till date. In this way, you will have to calculate the depreciation of each and every item. So land is to be taken as it is, 14 lakh. Building, you have to take it at 28 lakh. Its cost minus provision for depreciation till date, that is 7 lakh 50,000. It will be 20 lakh 50,000 shown at the value at which it is given in trial balance, but you have to presentation is to be given in this way. Plant and machinery. So plant and machinery cost is given to you. It is 49 lakh beta. Its return on value is 36 lakh 75,000. How much is the depreciation? Minus provision for depreciation. Okay. Provision for depreciation is given to you. How much it is? Provisions, trade payables, very good. Sir, in balance sheet item, which is not given in question, then should we have to show in solution with zero amount? In balance sheet, we have to show all the heads, okay, whether they have a balance or not. But in notes, it is not mandatory to show every item. In that, we can skip. Short term borrowing 2 lakh कैसे आई? शॉर्ट टर्म बोरिंग 2 लाख कैसे आई? आप लोग कैसे बेटा पढ़ोगे? ट्राई टू राइट ईच एंड एवरीथिंग इन इंग्लिश. नो वरी, यू आर राइटिंग इट इन हिंदी. ओके, शॉर्ट टर्म बोरिंग 2 लाख कैसे आई? सी हियर इट इज बेटा. देखो भी 2 लाख कैसे आई शॉर्ट टर्म बोरिंग? किसी स्टूडेंट ने पूछा है, मैं एक बार बता दूं. या ये बताया हुआ बेटा, एक बार देखना आप शॉर्ट टर्म बोरिंग का. वो कह रहा है कि जो लोन लिया है ना आपने एसएफसी में से, उसमें से जो 2 लाख का लोन है उसको हमने वापस करना है विद इन ए पीरियड ऑफ 1 ईयर. सो ये हमने डिस्कस किया था कि लॉन्ग टर्म में से जो अमाउंट हमारी मेच्योर होने वाली है, कल हमने डिस्कस भी किया था, मेच्योर होने वाली है विद इन 12 मंथ्स. कल हमने एक एग्जांपल ली थी ना जिसमें हमारी ईएमआई थी. दो ईएमआई हमारी बनती थी 2 लाख रुपीज की, 1 लाख ईच. तो हमने उसको क्या किया था, उसको शॉर्ट टर्म में डाल दिया था. बाकी जो 8 लाख था, शायद 8 लाख बचा था, उसको हमने लॉन्ग टर्म में ले गए थे ना. तो इसी तरह यहाँ पर है, वो कह रहा है ये जो 10 लाख 50 थाउजेंड हमने पे करना है एसएफसी को, इसमें से 2 लाख रुपीज जो है वो विद इन 1 ईयर पे करना पड़ेगा. तो 10 लाख 50 थाउजेंड जो है, इसके दो पार्ट्स हो गए, शॉर्ट टर्म, लॉन्ग टर्म. 2 लाख तो शॉर्ट टर्म हो गया, बाकी लॉन्ग टर्म हो गया बेटा. ओके है? आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर. एसएफसी बेटा, दैट आई हैव टेकन अ शॉर्ट फॉर्म ऑफ दिस ना, स्टेट फाइनेंस कॉर्पोरेशन. आई हैव टेकन इट फ्रॉम हियर. ओके, यू पीपल हैव योर कॉपीज विद बुक विद अस ना. Provision for tax we will take in short provisions. We will take that directly. It is not required to write here. So trade payables that we may directly take in the balance sheet, no, because balance sheet format is also there. Wherever we have to make some calculation, that will be shown in note. Wherever there is no calculation, you may show directly it in the balance sheet. Okay. जिसके साथ हमारे कोई डिटेल्स हैं, कोई कैलकुलेशंस है, उसको तो हम लोग शो करेंगे नोट्स में. वर्किंग नोट तो तभी बनाते हैं ना अगर हमें कोई कैलकुलेशन करनी है. अगर हमें कोई कैलकुलेशन नहीं करनी है, अमाउंट सीधी आपके पास आ रही है, तो उसे डायरेक्टली हम डाल देते हैं. तो इसी तरह इसको कर रहे हैं, ये वर्किंग नोट बना रहे हैं हम लोग. तो ये वर्किंग नोट उसी का बनाएंगे जिसकी हमें डिटेल्ड वर्किंग करनी है. जिसकी डिटेल्ड वर्किंग नहीं है, सीधी एक ही आइटम है, डायरेक्टली डाल सकते हैं, उसको फिर हम ऊपर ही डाल देंगे सीधा बैलेंस शीट में. ये तो वर्किंग नोट है. हाँ, 12 लाख 25 थाउजेंड किसी स्टूडेंट ने निकाल के भेजा, चलो उस पर भी आ जाते हैं. इट्स 12 लाख 25 थाउजेंड बेटा. सो बैलेंस इज 36 लाख 75 थाउजेंड. Same is with furniture and fixtures. Furniture and fixture is worth rupees 4 lakh. $37,500 minus provision for depreciation. 3,50,000 है ना, तो 87,500 डेप्रिसिएशन होगी बेटा। एनी अदर फिक्स्ड एसेट इज देयर? सो नॉन करंट एसेट का टोटल आप निकाल लेना जो भी आपका आएगा। नाउ नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रिगार्डिंग योर करंट एसेट्स। नो, एनी अदर एसेट लेफ्ट? एक बार देख लो, एनी अदर फिक्स्ड एसेट इज देयर? लैंड इज डन, बिल्डिंग इज डन, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, फर्नीचर एंड फिक्चर्स, inventories are non-current assets. Sorry, current assets. Trade receivable, advances, short-term cash in hand, patents and trademark, that is also given to you. So patents and trademark is an intangible asset that is given here. So now your balance sheet presentation is that we are going to show tangible and intangible assets separately. So we can show that intangible asset directly in the balance sheet. There's no problem. ओके, सो टेंजिबल एसेट्स में डिटेल है, इंटेंजिबल में कोई डिटेल नहीं, एक ही इंटेंजिबल एसेट है पेटेंट एंड ट्रेडमार्क, तो इसको डायरेक्टली आप शो कर देना उसमें बैलेंस शीट में। ओके, देन वी आर कमिंग टू करंट एसेट्स, है ना। करंट एसेट्स में हमारे जो हेडिंग्स हैं वो देखो, एक बार आप लोगों को याद है, एक बार हेडिंग्स लिख लो ताकि आप लोगों को इजी हो जाए। मुझे लग रहा है थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम आप लोगों को इसलिए भी आ रही है बिकॉज आप लोगों ने हेडिंग नहीं लिखे हुए। एक बार हेडिंग्स आप याद कर लो। हमारे जो हेडिंग्स हैं वो क्या है? सबसे पहला हेडिंग क्या है? शेयर कैपिटल। शेयर कैपिटल का टोटल आप लोगों ने कर भी लिया है, वो बता भी दो। हाउ मच इज द टोटल? हमारा था 69 लाख। नोट नंबर 1, 69,93,000। देन रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस का भी टोटल हमने कर लिया था। हाउ मच इट इज? इट वाज 21,56,000। नॉन करंट लाइबिलिटीज आ गई उसके बाद। इसमें लॉन्ग टर्म बोरिंग्स हैं, सो इसका टोटल भी हमने किया था। इट्स टोटल इज रुपीज 8,50,000 फॉर सिक्योर्ड and unsecured, yes. So total is 16,97,000. Long term borrowings. Then we have current liabilities with us. This is point number third. Under that subheading is there. Subheading is trade payables, creditors जिसे हम कहते हैं. So these are our creditors for goods and expenses. These are given to you in trial balance. See how much it is. It is 14 lakh. It can be shown directly, beta. Then we have short term borrowings. Short term borrowings. How much it is? Out of this long term borrowings, 2 lakh have been shifted to short term borrowings, which we have already studied. You know? So 2 lakh will be shown here. Maybe we have prepared any note for it. Long term, short term borrowing, loan from SFC, that we have shown. It may or may not be written. We may prepare a note for it or not. It is up to us. Fourth, C point, we have provisions. Obviously, these are current liabilities because normally these are short term provisions. Name is also there. Short term provisions, we may write here. How much it is? Short term borrowings. No, we have not prepared any note for it. So see, provision for taxation is given to you in the trial balance. So that will be taken here. Provision for taxation is 8,16,900. So this may be given in bracket if you require it. Otherwise, it is not compulsory. In balance sheet, the presentation is simple. So this is a way how you will have to present it. This is a total of your liability side, whatever it is, you may get it. It's a total of your liability side. In the same way, we have to prepare assets. Okay. Let's go and prepare asset side. So same headings are there. Now these are assets. So main heading will be assets. Okay. Under that we have first of all non-current assets. So non-current assets, we have made a note for it. Its note is fifth note. Final amount, how much it is? As we have acquired land by 4 lakh 20 on fully paid equity and its value is now 14 lakh, then do we need to disclose impairment of loan? No, no, beta, that is not required because this is the business is a going concern business. So no such things are to be required to be done. Sir, but we are supposed to make aging schedule for trade receivable cause the time period it is due is given in the question. Since it is due, because we have not entered a trade receivable yet, but when we will enter it, we will do that. Short-term borrowings, okay. So how much is the total of this that is given by a student? 74 lakh 75,000. Yes, good, very good. So as per note number 5, it is 74 lakh 75,000. Okay. Now, one more thing is given to you. Sorry, in case of non-current assets, we have to show it in a different way. Let's see how it will be shown because I'm interested to show the presentation so that you people may give a better presentation. We are writing it on your in your copies. So it meant you people are writing it in your copies so that you have a practice to do the questions. Okay. PPE, property, plant, equipment, note number 5, 74 lakh 75,000. And then we have intangible assets. In intangible asset, we have one asset only, patent and trademark. This is worth rupees 4 lakh. And then we have, this is point number A, this is point number B. Then we have point number 2, in which we have current assets. Under the heading current assets, we have A point, trade receivables. B point, we have, sorry, we have inventories first. Yeah, because inventory is also there. Inventories. Trade receivables, B point, and C point is we have cash and cash equivalents. And D point is there, short-term advances. Short-term advances. So see, we have intangible assets, we have entered it. Current assets, we have inventories with us. How much is the value of inventories? Inventories are given of two types, so it is better to be presented it in a proper way. We may prepare a note for that. Note number 5 we have already prepared. So note number 6 will be there. In that we may show inventories. We have raw material 3,50,000. We have finished goods 14 lakh, 17 lakh 50,000. Note number 6. Note number 7 is your trade receivables. In that it is given to you that we have trade receivable worth rupees 14 lakh. Yeah, there was a point relating to it. One point was there. एक point था इससे related बेटा. हाँ. Point number 4 was there. Trade receivable for 3,80,000 are due for more than 6 months. So we have to bifurcate it into two parts, but we need to bifurcate it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 parts if you will see the exact pro forma. But that pro forma is required to be prepared only and only if those parts are there. That it is up within 1 year, it is 1 to 2 years, it is 2 to 3 years, it is more than 3 years, it is देर आर मेनी मेनी टाइप्स ना, तो मैंने काफी कुछ करवाया था आपको. वो सब तभी रिक्वायर्ड होगा, मतलब वहां तक हमें डिफरेंशिएशन देनी पड़ सकती है, अभी नहीं है. सो अभी आप सिंपल कर सकते हो कि टोटल 14 में से 3 14 लाख है ना, या उसमें 380 का जो डेट है वो आउटस्टैंडिंग है. ठीक है ना, तो इसमें हम शो कर देंगे डेटर्स विद लेस देन विच आर आउटस्टैंडिंग फॉर या विच आर ड्यू फॉर लेस देन 6 months. जस्ट अ मोमेंट. So debtors or trade receivables, we can show it less than 6 months, uh, due for less than 6 months, or due for more than 6 months. So in this way, you may show it separately. So it is total 14 lakhs. He has given you that more than 6 months is 3 lakh 80,000. So balance 10 lakh 20,000 is So this is a way of presentation only. Otherwise, debtor will be shown as 14 lakh. And then eighth point is there. If it is required, debtors का हो गया. And then what is required? Cash and cash equivalents. Okay. So eighth point, cash and cash equivalents. For that sake, you will have to check cash at, cash at bank is given to you, cash in hand is given to you. So first of all, cash in hand, 2,10,000. Then balance with banks, there is another point with the bank. Fifth point, the amount of balances with bank include 18,000 with a bank which is not a scheduled bank. And the deposit of rupees 5 lakh are for a period of 9 months. Deposits are for a period of 9 months. Total bank balance is given to you, it is 17,29,000. Okay. So deposit is not to be shown as cash and cash equivalent because deposit is not 100% cash. Okay, he has already mentioned you deposit of rupees 5 lakh are for a period of 9 months. So it will be shown separately, nothing else. Cash at bank, scheduled, non-scheduled. So there are two types of banks. He says in scheduled bank, total amount is given to you. How much is the total amount of the balance? Total balance is 17,29,000 beta. Now bifurcate it. He says 18,000 is of non-scheduled bank. Non-scheduled bank, 18,000. And he says 5 lakh is a deposit. This is a fixed deposit for 9 months. This is 5 lakh. So how much is balance? That is with scheduled bank. That is a balance with scheduled bank. How much it is get it beta? Fast. 5 lakh 18,000 माइनस करेंगे तो कितना बचेगा? 5 lakh 18 माइनस कर दिया तो 12 lakh 11,000. Okay, so here we have to show 12 lakh 11,000 with scheduled bank. Presentation matters. I already mentioned you that in case of financial statement of companies, we have to go for the presentation. Okay. So cash and cash equivalent is there. But there is a deposit also that will be shown separately, nothing else. So these are the cash at bank and deposit. 9 months. How much it is? 5 lakh. So this is a total of your cash and cash equivalent. How much it is? Get it? That will be shown here. So this is note number 8. Short-term advances, is there any? Yes, 2,98,900. So get the total? Yes. Total, yeah, this is 19,39,000. Good. Very good. Shabash. So finally, you are able to do the complete question by preparing balance sheet. Is that okay? So balance sheet total is sent by a student. If it is right, then it will be 1 crore 32 lakh 62,900. So the complete question you have done, in that the main thing which you have to memorize is, first of all, speak with me, शेयर कैपिटल। सबसे पहले क्या लिखना है आपने? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर इज अ शेयर होल्डर्स फंड, ओके। इन दैट देयर इज अ शेयर कैपिटल, रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस, देयर आर टू हेडिंग्स। देन देयर इज अ नॉन करंट liabilities, in that there are long term borrowings. Then there is a current liabilities, in that payables, short term borrowings, provisions, okay. And when you will go for asset side, it is non current assets. Under that, property, plant and equipment, all the fixed assets will come here, all the tangible fixed assets. Then intangible fixed assets are there. Intangible fixed asset, you have to give a presentation by way of original cost minus depreciation in total. Then current assets are there. Under that, there is inventory, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, and short term advances. That's it. So when you will do two or three questions by your own hands, अपने हाथों से questions करोगे. Don't copy it from the module. Don't try to, you may say, read it from the module. You will be able, you will memorize each and everything. But when you will try to memorize only, but don't do that, then it will not be memorized at all. आपने एक बार क्वेश्चन को कर लिया अच्छी तरह से, फिर दूसरी बार कर लिया, इट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी दैट यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर प्रॉपर फॉर्मेट, बट इट इज मैंडेटरी यू हैव टू गो फॉर अ प्रॉपर राइटिंग। अच्छी तरह लिखोगे तो आ जाएगा ना। सर कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन अगेन द एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन नंबर फिफ्थ? I have confusion. Yeah, tell me if there is any confusion in any point. I would like to let you be clear all the points if there is any doubt. Otherwise, I will proceed to the next questions. Fifth point, he says that we have a balance with bank which includes 18,000 from a non scheduled bank। ये जो क्वेरीज आ रही है ना आपकी बेटा, ये नॉर्मली तभी आती है जब हमने वो जो चीज हमने मैंने कल दिया था, होमवर्क दिया था, वो ना पढ़ा हो अच्छी तरह से। थोड़ा सा मेरा रिक्वेस्ट मानो, उनको अनेक्चर्स को जरूर पढ़ लेना, उसमें ये चीजें दी हुई थी कि जब भी हमारे पास बैंक का बैलेंस दिया हुआ है तो उसमें शेड्यूल्ड और नॉन शेड्यूल्ड का अलग अलग शो करना है, डिपॉजिट्स को सेपरेटली शो करना है। तो मैंने वही कर दिया कि मेरे पास टोटल बैंक का बैलेंस 17,29,000 है। इसको मैंने थ्री पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया। 18,000 तो नॉन शेड्यूल्ड का है, 5 लाख डिपॉजिट्स है, बैलेंस क्या रह गया? बैलेंस रह गया आपका 12,11,000। वो क्या है? वो ऑब्वियसली शेड्यूल्ड बैंक है, बिकॉज ही सेज 17,29 टोटल बैलेंस है। अब इसमें से वो कह रहा है नॉन शेड्यूल्ड का कितना है? 18,000। बाकी क्या रह गया? या ऐसे लिख लो, इसमें से डिपॉजिट कितना है? 5 लाख। सो बैलेंस क्या रह गया? 12,29,000। इसमें से शेड्यूल्ड कितने का है? नॉन शेड्यूल्ड का कितना है ना? नॉन शेड्यूल्ड का 18 है। नॉन शेड्यूल्ड बैंक होते हैं, शेड्यूल्ड बैंक होते हैं, ये आप सभी को पता ही है। तो बैलेंस जो है वो क्या है? इसका है 12,11,000। तो ये प्रेजेंटेशन देनी जरूरी है। ओके, इज दैट क्लियर बेटा? प्लीज टेल मी। कैश 19,39,000 कैसे आया है सर? 19,39,000, you have to make total of all these. It is 19,39,000. This was 17,29,000 plus 2,10,000 कैश इन हैंड भी तो है। Sir, what about the adjustment number A? Adjustment number A, which one? Adjustment number A तो कोई भी नहीं है बेटा. There is no adjustment number A. मेरे पास कोई भी नहीं. सेवंथ क्वेश्चन हम लोग कर रहे हैं, कोई और क्वेश्चन तो नहीं देख रहे. Please explain adjustment number one. Okay, that is very simple. He says 4,20,000 fully paid shares were allotted as a consideration for land and building. That means for we have purchased land and building. Against that we have issued shares. So the entry will be land and building account debit to equity share capital. So it doesn't make any problem if we have given shares instead of cash. If you have if we have not received cash, instead we have received land and building and issued shares against that. This is just a point of presentation. We just have to present it, nothing else. It is just a way of presentation that we have to show always that this much number of shares were issued for a known cash consideration. If any shares are issued against known cash consideration, that should be shown separately. That is given in your annexures. If you have studied annexure, in that it is given to you, beta. So it is just presented, nothing else. If you will see that in balance sheet, in trial balance, we have equity share capital worth rupees 70 lakh. So this means for out of this 70 lakhs, 4 lakh 20,000 means 42 lakhs of share capital is issued for a consideration other than cash. So this is just a way of presentation. We just have to give it in bracket. एक तरह से कह सकते हैं हमने इसे ब्रैकेट में देना होता है, एक डिटेल्स देनी होती है और कुछ भी नहीं है, nothing else. Sir, in an actual it is stating that bank deposit of more than 12-month maturity should be shown separately. Sir, in lecture it is stated that bank deposit of more than 12 months maturity should be shown separately. That will be shown in, मतलब वो कुछ और लिखा हुआ है वहां पर, आप दोबारा जाके उसको पढ़ना, यू विल क्लियर दैट. ये नहीं लिखा हुआ वहां पर. Now amount got totaled. Yes sir, clear. And I again revise important point. Sorry sir. Eighth adjustment is that related to preliminary expenses written off. Yeah, that is already mentioned that preliminary expenses are to be written off, beta, out of general reserve. That has been specifically mentioned. Yeah, entire amount of preliminary expenses are to be written off by adjusting from opening balance of general reserve. So that we have done. We have done it. We have deducted it from general reserve. Preliminary expenses हमने general reserve में से deduct कर दिए यहाँ पर. Otherwise it will be shown in the asset side ना? So it will be deducted here. He has already mentioned. You explained adjustment number 8, sir. Yes, sir. I have all explained. Okay. Chalo, coming back. Let's do illustration number 4 now. Come to illustration number 4. I think today we need not to take a break. Instead, we may close the lecture 10 minutes earlier. It will be more beneficial because today is Sunday and you people can get the benefit 10 minutes. That will be a better option according to my opinion. Are you agreed with me? No, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, you say as you say. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Chalo. Read illustration number 4th. Many students have tell me that we have to do it. So what we will do? You just read it in full and then we will discuss. I'm giving you 2 minutes to read it in proper way. And then I will ask some queries from you and you will have to do it also properly with me. करेंगे भी और साथ में समझेंगे भी. Just read it in a proper way. Let's take a break because many students are interested to take the break. Uh, चलो, let's take a break of 5 minutes only so that we can uh, consolidate the lecture 5 to 10 minutes earlier also as today is Sunday. Sir, can we take a break of 5 minutes only? Muni ji, am I audible? Muni ji, sir, take a break of 5 minutes. So let's start with the illustration number 4. Beta, very good illustration. You are required to prepare a statement of profit loss and balance sheet from the following trial balance. Okay. So beta फटाफट join कर लो, but फटाफट come back fast, fast join करो. शुरू करें illustration number 4. Let's start with illustration number 4. So here capital is given to you. This is authorized capital. It is just a presentation style. You know it very well. It will be shown in the presentation. Subscribed capital is given to you. Okay, equity capital is given to you. So these are just presentations. Purchases are given to you. So this is dealing in these type of items like wine, cigarettes, or food stuff, because this may be a club. Yeah, it is a hotel. Obviously, due to that reason, it is dealing in wine, cigarettes, cigars. So this is basically an item which has been taken in profit or loss account. Maybe it has demanded, yeah, he has demanded from you to prepare a statement of profit loss and balance sheet both. So let's understand that which item will go to P&L account. Now, for that sake, you should have to understand the pro forma of profit or loss account also. That is also very important. In pro forma of profit or loss account, there is something different. It will not be like same whatever we are doing earlier. Let's see the pro forma once, then we will come to this because that will be more helpful for us, beta. Come back बेटा. Very good. Joined. But थोड़े से लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया, अभी सबने नहीं करा. कम से कम थंब भी भेज दो, पता लग जाए कि आपने ज्वाइन कर लिया. Just send a thumb if you have joined, so that it will be clear that you people have joined it. See, in case of profit or loss account, we have a simple format. In that, there's a, because I think you people has memorized the format of balance sheet now. Now you will have to go and memorize the format of profit or loss, which is also very easy. Let's write it down in your copies later on. First of all, I'm just giving an idea. As you know, there's a revenue from operation first, and then other incomes. This is a bifurcation of incomes. So we have to divide our income into two parts, nothing else. Then in expenses, there's cost of material consumed. This is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock of material. Then purchases of inventory in trade, whatever the finished goods we have purchased, that will be entered here. Change in inventory meant for opening minus closing difference. Either it is negative or positive, it will be shown here. Employee benefit, it will be salaries and other expenses incurred on employees, other operating expenses, rent, rates, taxes, or any other operational expenses, selling and administrative expenses. This includes all the expenses related to sale, then all the expenses relating to arrangement of funds like interest we have paid, or any other such type of expenses will be entered in finance cost. Depreciation and amortization expenses, this will include all the depreciation and other amortization in any way. Other expenses, that is preliminary expenses written off, will be shown here. That's it. So I think you people have already studied it because I have given you it in your homework also. So accordingly, we have to understand that how it will be presented, beta. Because I already mentioned you yesterday that you will suffer if you have not studied it. So I assume you people have studied it. Accordingly, I will go. Yes. आपने बोलते भी जाना है अपने आप भी कि ये किस में जाएगा, क्योंकि मैं देख तो नहीं सकता, बट आप लोग ये मानो कि मैं आपके सामने बैठा हूं और मुझे ही आप बता रहे हो. Just assume I am sitting in front of you and you're telling me, because it is not possible to write for every point because there are number of points. So I don't assume that you will have to write and give me the answer, but it will be better. You must have to speak by assuming Pradeep Makkad is sitting in front of you. Okay, let's start. Purchases. This will go in purchases. Okay, food stuff. This will go in food stuff. This will be wages and salaries. This will be a part of. किसका part होगा ये बोलो? Wages, wages and salaries. This will become part of employee benefit expenses. Already, always speak the name also, that under which head it will go, because in that case you will memorize that. So wages and salaries, employee benefit expenses, rent, rates and taxes, other operating expenses, laundry, laundry, other operating expenses, sales. What is the name of it? Revenue from operation. Both sales will go to revenue from operation. coal and firewood and expense, where it will go? Speak it out. Other operating expenses, because this is a hotel. Here, coal and firewood is used for the purpose of. It will be used in restaurants. We can say carriage and coolage. This is our operating expenses. So other operating expenses, sundry expenses, other expenses or other operating expenses. We can take it. Advertising, other operating expenses, repair, other operating rent of rooms, revenue from operations, billiard, it's an asset. We know it well. It is a billiard table. Rent of rooms is an income, so billiard will also be an income, because billiard meant for people are, otherwise it will, if it is a billiard table it will be written as that, so it is not written. So it is also covered according to this also, because all incomes are given here. So rent of room is a revenue from operation, billiard is revenue from operation, miscellaneous receipt will also be covered in revenue, in other income. This will be covered under other incomes. Discount received, other income, transfer fees, other income. Okay. Freehold land and building. This is PPE, furniture and fixture. क्या होगा ये? PPE, inventories on hand, wine, cigarette, cigars, etc. This is opening stock. Okay. This is opening stock. If closing stock is also given to you, what you will do? Opening minus closing. Whatever it is, that will be shown there. If it is negative, it will be shown as accordingly. So we have to do that. Cash in hand, cash and cash equivalents, cash with bankers. Where it will go? Cash and cash equivalents, preliminary and formation expenses, according to the discussion. Whatever discussion will come to us, we will do that, because there may be a chance it will be shown or it will be written off if it is given in working note, will be shown accordingly. If it is written off, it will be shown under the heading other expenses. Okay. Now debentures, long-term liabilities, profit loss, reserve and surplus, trade payables under the heading current liabilities, trade receivable under the heading current assets. ओके, यहाँ तक क्लियर हो रहा है ना? कोई डाउट है तो बता सकते हो, किसी कोई भी डाउट हो यहाँ तक? Investments, this will be covered under the head non-current assets. Remember, when a student was asking a query that more than 12 months deposit will be shown separately, that means for more than 12 months deposit will be shown under the head non-current assets, and deposit up to 12 months will be shown under the head current assets. Let it be very much clear that all assets which can be encashable or matured within a period of 12 months will be covered under the head current assets, and more than 12 months will be covered under the head non-current. So goodwill, intangible assets shown under the head, बोलो भी कहाँ जाएगा? नॉन करंट एसेट्स, उसमें इंटेंजिबल के अंडर जाएगा. रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस, wages and salaries outstanding 1280, that means for your wages and salaries will automatically increase by 1280. This will be increased by 1280 because closing work in progress is given, closing wages are given to you, outstanding wages. If it is opening outstanding wages, then it will be deducted. You know it very well now. तो फाइनल अकाउंट्स आपको आता है, दैट वी हैव टू assume, because we are doing going for the final account of companies. Before that you should have the understanding of final account of sole proprietors and partnerships. closing stock is given to you. So see, we have to do it. इसको करते हैं. Let's do it. Opening stock is given to you. This is 18060. Okay. Now, how much it is? 38. 38,900. 18,060. So what is the difference? That is 20,840. Billiard means for beta, billiard is a game. So if only billiard word is written, it means for it's a game against which we received a revenue. If it is billiard table, then it is a asset. Okay. Because here it is a hotel. In hotel, we are giving an opportunity to the public to play billiard and pay us money. So one thing, second thing, billiard is given in the credit side. If billiard is given in the credit side, that means for it's an income. Because if it is an asset, its balance will be debit balance. Okay. If it have a debit balance, it may be an asset. But if it is given in the credit side, that means for it's an income only. Otherwise, billiard can't be our liability. Na? Billiard means for billiard table. Na? So it is either they have played billiard or for that payment has been received to us, or there is an asset by the name of billiard table. So it doesn't have a debit balance, it have a credit balance only. So it's an asset. लास्ट एडजस्टमेंट बेटा अभी तो मैंने करवाई नहीं आपको, अभी तो कर रहे हैं हम लोग. दिस इज जस्ट सिंपल. दिस विल बी शोन एज चेंज इन इन्वेंटरीज हेडिंग. So in change in inventories, it will come as 20840. It will be shown like this if you are interested to see the presentation. I would like to show the presentation also later on. Don't worry. You have to just add it. It is 38,900. Deduct opening balance out of it. Whatever is the balance, that will be a change in inventories to be shown in the final one. And otherwise, it will be given in note also. Depreciation 5% per annum and 2% per annum. Normally, depreciation is on original cost in case of companies. Let it be very much clear. Equity capital on 1st of April stood at 7,20,000, that is 6,000 shares and 2,000 shares. The director made a call of 40 per share. A shareholder couldn't pay the call and his shares were forfeited and reissued at 90 per share. So this is a complete adjustment which you have to make for this purpose, because this is an adjustment which is mandatory in this case. See that he has mentioned you that the equity capital as on 1st of April stood at rupees this. So what is the date when you are preparing this balance sheet? So this is prepared on 31st of March 2012. He says we have a subscribed capital that is given to you. Any calls in area are also given to you or anything else? No. So he's just giving you a detail that equity share capital was 7,20,000, that is 6,000 shares fully paid up and 2000 shares partly paid up. On 1st of October during the year, we have made a call. A shareholder couldn't pay the for call on 400 shares and his shares were then forfeited and reissued at rupees 90 per share as fully paid. So this is a way how he has done the share capital. So now a time it is very much clear that all the shares are fully paid up because now these shares are issued to the public in full because 6,000 shares were fully paid up earlier. Then he has also like 6,000 shares were fully paid up earlier. So the capital worth rupees 6 lakh was there. Then 2,000 shares are also fully paid up because he says one shareholder doesn't pay a call money, and due to that reason, his shares were forfeited and reissued. Once these are reissued, there is no worry. We will have to show in our books at rupees 2 lakh only, as we know, because discount on issue of shares is not a part of your share capital. उसको हम शेयर कैपिटल में शो नहीं करते, हम सभी को पता है. So accordingly, it will be shown. Just reserve and surplus will include a part of capital reserve. As we know, whenever we are getting any profit or loss on reissue of shares, then we have some profit or loss that will become part of capital reserve or goodwill that you people have to do. तो वो दिया होना चाहिए ऊपर according to my opinion. It should be given to you. Is that given to you? See, general reserve, it's 2 lakhs. So what he has done, he says the directors, equity capital, ठीक है. A shareholder couldn't pay the call and his shares were then forfeited. He should at rupees 90 per share as fully paid up. So that you have to calculate only, nothing else. You people know how to do it, beta. Let's discuss on it. How to do it. 100 shares was there. Okay. So the person has paid you 40 rupees per share. So whatever amount he has paid, amount received 100 into 40, 4,000. Now later on what happened? We have made a call of 40 per share. Okay, sorry. He has paid us 60 per share because earlier these shares are 60 paid up, है ना? Amount received from forfeited one, 100 shares at the rate of 60 per share. So it will be 6,000 rupees which has been received, later reissued at the rate of 90 per share. See, these are reissued at rupees 90 per share as fully paid up. So when these are issued at 90 per share, there is a loss of rupees 10 per share. because earlier these shares have the face value of rupees 100 per share. So out of 100 we received only 90. So we have suffered a loss of rupees 10 per share. That loss will be adjusted from the forfeited amount available with us. So net benefit from reissue is equal to forfeiture account, that is 6,000, minus loss on reissue, 1,000 rupees, because it is 100 shares. So we have suffered a loss of rupees 1,000. So finally, how much we get? This is profit on reissue transfer to capital reserve beta. Its entry is also there. If you remember that entry, here forfeiture account debit to capital reserve. Remember the entry? So this was earlier passed when you was doing CA foundation or plus 2 commerce. So the 2,000 shares are fully paid up because of reissue of shares. Yes, beta. So 2,000 shares were 60 paid up earlier as on 1st of April, but as on the date of 31st of March, it is fully paid up because we have made a final call of rupees 40 on that. Okay. Note it down with you. लिख लो ये सारा कुछ. Noted? Just tell me, have you noted it down? Foundation class also very good. Thank you, sir, for making chart. Yes, sir, done. Okay, beta. Let's go forward. Nothing else. No other technical problem is there. Let's see the notes now. Yes. In share capital, he has shown that 8,000 equity shares are there and preference shares are there. This is preference shares 5 lakh and 8 lakh equity shares. So 13 lakh is the total. Capital reserve 5,000 already discussed. General reserve, very good point. He says general reserve is 2 lakh, that is given to you. Now, one thing is there. Yeah, one more thing is there. He says directors have proposed or declared a dividend of 8%. Directors have declared a dividend of 8% on 2nd of April, transferring any amount that may be required from general reserve. Now, remember, if any dividend is declared after 31st of March, then it will not be shown in the balance sheet. It will not be registered in the balance sheet. It will be shown as a note under the balance sheet only. So it will be shown as a note, not to be adjusted in the balance sheet. Balance sheet में इसकी कोई adjustment नहीं करनी हमने. हमने सिर्फ notes में show कर देना है. क्योंकि ये 31st मार्च के बाद हुआ है. अगर ये 31 मार्च से पहले होता तभी कर सकते थे शो. वो नहीं हुआ तो नहीं करेंगे. Remaining is very simple. Other current liabilities are shown. Okay. Freehold land and building minus depreciation, that is given to you. Inventories already discussed, 38,900. Okay. Cash and cash equivalent is given to you, Revenue from operation already discussed. Sale of services, other income, मैंने सारा कुछ बता दिया already. Opening stock of raw material plus purchases minus closing stock is called raw material consumed. So see, cost of raw material is given to you. See how to get the raw material consumed. For that, we should have opening stock of raw material with us. He has given you purchases of fines, cigarettes, food stuff, etc. So here, raw material, finished goods, and work in progress is not given separately. So what you will do, you will assume that it is simple. We may adjust each and everything in this purchases. So opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock you have to do. How much is opening stock? That is also given to you in this. 18,60 was the opening stock. So what you people will do? You will just do it very simple. He has done in a different way, but it is up to your choice. What he has done, he has uh, he has assumed food stuff as the raw material, hence this is as a finished product. So that is up to your choice, beta. You may do anything. अब मुझे तो समझ नहीं लगती कि रेस्टोरेंट में होटल में जो फूड स्टफ है वो कोई रॉ मटेरियल है और ये कोई फिनिश स्टफ है, बट ठीक है, ठीक है, जैसे कर रहा है आप भी कर सकते हो. दिस नो प्रॉब्लम, इट इज अप टू योर चॉइस. तो व्हाट ही हैज डन, he has calculated raw material consumed by doing opening stock of raw material means opening stock of food stuff. So opening stock of food stuff is 5260 beta, plus purchases of food stuff is 36,200, minus clothing stock of food stuff is 16,400. So opening, whenever you have to calculate consumed, what you are doing, opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Okay, so that he has done, and 25,60 is the balance sheet figure. Then he has shown purchases of wines separately, 45,800, and then he has made this change in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and inventory in trade just for the presentation style. It is not compulsory. It is up to your choice what you people assume. Opening stock minus closing stock. So this is the negative figure which comes to us. Or we may do it in other way also. We may assume that because this is not clear that food stuff is a raw material, it is our mind that tells us that food stuff meant for the items which have been received for the purpose of preparation of food. Due to that reason, food stuff has been taken under the raw material head, and wines etc. are taken under the head finished goods. So this is understanding. If you people understand, it is very good. Otherwise, there is no worry. You may do anything. It is not a big issue. It is understandable, I think. Okay, so all things are given to you. I think everything is clear to every student. There is no doubt. सर आई हैव वन डाउट रिगार्डिंग बायबैक चैप्टर. बेटा वो तो अब गया, बायबैक तो बहुत दूर निकल गया. अब हमसे फिर बात करेंगे किसी टाइम, ठीक है. सर इज देयर एनी मिस्टेक इन प्रॉब्लम? नो नो बेटा, देयर इज नो मिस्टेक. वन डाउट रिगार्डिंग बायबैक चैप्टर. if I can solve using ratio of face value and BB price and not using by simultaneous equation method, will they provide marks or no, sir? Please tell me. बेटा simultaneous equation method is somehow, मतलब that is mandatory. that जो आपको करवाया वो सही उसी तरह से कर लो बेटा, ठीक है. रोहित माली, और कुछ ना सोचो, उसी तरह से करो जैसे बताया. Food stuff is a finished item, so it's closing stock of raw material and closing stock of whatever the closing stock is given outside the trial balance will go to balance sheet. Everyone knows the whatever closing stock is given within the trial balance will not go to balance sheet. So here two closing stock are given, 22,500 and 16,400. Both closing stocks will go to balance sheet. See, in inventories he have entered it. He must have entered it in inventories. This is 38,900 which he have given. So he have entered both raw material and finished goods, because that is not a point that raw material closing stock will go to balance sheet or finished goods closing stock will go to balance sheet. Everyone knows that if closing stock is given in trial balance, rules will remain same, adjustment will be remain same. Then if closing stock is given in trial balance, then it's an asset and goes to balance sheet and not adjusted in profit or loss account. प्रॉफिट लॉस में नहीं डालेंगे उसमें. Okay, if closing stock is given in adjustment, it will be entered in profit or loss account and balance sheet both, because that means for it is not yet recorded. So we have to record it. When we will record it, entry is very simple: closing stock account debit to profit or loss account. If it has already been recorded by way of trial balance, then it will be shown in trial balance. And if it is shown in trial balance, then already we passed an entry closing stock to purchases. In that case, it will be shown in बैलेंस शीट ओनली. ओके, जब ये बैलेंस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक आपको ट्रायल बैलेंस के अंदर दिया होगा तो ये बैलेंस शीट में जाएगा. अगर ये ट्रायल बैलेंस के बाहर दिया होगा तो दो जगह पे जाएगा, प्रॉफिट लॉस में भी माइनस करेंगे उसको और बैलेंस शीट में भी लेके जाएंगे. आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी क्लियर टू एवरीवन. आई एम अराउंड 25 मिनट्स लेट ड्यू टू नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम फ्रॉम माय साइड. डोंट वरी बेटा, जितना समय लग गया वो उसके लिए थैंक्स करो, और जो नहीं समय लगा वो 25 मिनट की वीडियो शुरू वाली देख लेना, बिकॉज दैट वीडियो इज अवेलेबल विद यू. तो दोबारा से देख लेना, कोई वरी नहीं है. कुछ ना समय लगे तो वीडियो को सारी को देख लेना. फिर भी उसके बाद हम अवेलेबल हैं, कल फिर हम बैठेंगे, कल यूं ही हम फिर मिलेंगे. नीड नॉट टू वरी. Illustration number 5th is not required to be done because that is already covered by us by way of a question, because question is similar to the illustration. One thing is also to be done, that is how it will be how dividend will be presented. So see how they have presented, how dividend has been presented. It will be given as a note. The final dividend will not be recognized as a liability at the balance sheet date. He says final dividend will not be recognized as a liability at the balance sheet date, even if it is declared after reporting date before approval of the financial statements as per accounting standard. Okay, it has not been recognized in the financial statement. Such dividend will be disclosed in notes only. This note must be given by every student. चैप्टर मजेदार है ना, यू आर गेटिंग ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. देखो ओके, कम टू illustration number 6 beta. Come to illustration number 6. Very good illustration, having same question also. Question number maybe 8th is same to that. चलो डोंट वरी, आप लोग इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर मेरे साथ करो. क्वेश्चन मैं आपको होमवर्क में दे दूंगा. लेट्स डू इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 6. विल डिस्कस ऑल द एडजस्टमेंट्स. Practical question number 9. Don't worry, beta. We will do that. Illustration number 6. Come to that. Yes. We will discuss the important points of this illustration. Calls in area is given to you. Where it will be adjusted? Fast. Batao. Yeah, Neha, you must have to write notes as like same problems in exam also. Calls in area will be very good, will be deducted from equity share capital. Okay, good. Adjusted purchases means opening stock and closing stock is already adjusted in it. Okay, in this case, closing stock may be given in balance sheet. See, inventories. Yeah, here inventory, closing inventory is given to you. So let it be very much clear that this closing inventory will not be shown in profit and loss account because here purchases are already adjusted. Even if it is not mentioned adjusted purchases, that means for purchases are adjusted. Why? Because inventory come in trial balance. Whenever closing stock comes in trial balance, it means for it has already been adjusted in purchases. So whether it is mentioned adjusted or not, that doesn't make any difference. Suspense account is given to you with the amount of rupees 10. Let's discuss what it is. Authorized share capital company revalued the land at 9,60,000. Good point. He says we have a land worth rupees 800 crores with us. 800,000, 8 lakh means we have a land of rupees 800 with us. It have been revalued at 960. So here the value of land has been increased. So we have to show the land at the new value. So when it will be shown at new value, obviously revaluation reserve will be created with rupees 160. So 1,60,000 will be created as a revaluation reserve and goes to reserve and surplus beta. इसकी वजह से रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में 1,60,000 रुपीज जाएंगे. Is that clear? In the balance sheet, land will go with rupees 9,60,000 and revaluation reserve of rupees 1,60,000. This is this is according to ES10. This is just a presentation matter, everyone knows. Now this is an important point. Suspense account of rupees 10,000 represent cash receipt from the sale of some of the machinery. So he says that we have sold machinery for rupees 10,000. Machinery's cost is 24 with depreciation till date, that is accumulated depreciation of 20,000. That means for what is the written down value of the machinery? So sold for 10,000. WDV is 4,000. Profit on sale of machinery is 6,000. Note it down. So under which heading it will be shown? Under which heading this 6,000 rupees will be shown? किसके अंडर शो करेंगे? Remember, you people have to do all the questions in your copies without seeing the solution. If there is any doubt, come to me. All the illustrations, all the practical problems you have to do on your copies. Don't see the solution first. Instead, do the question first, and then see if you can understand it from the solution. It is very better. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. है ना? आपको सारे क्वेश्चंस को खुद अपने हाथों से करना है. तभी आप एग्जाम में कर पाओगे. वेरी गुड आंसर, अदर इनकम्स. सो इट विल गो इन अदर इनकम्स. गुड. Balance at bank, which is not a scheduled same provision for income tax is to be created at 30%. Very simple. A simple question. Is that clear? Come to practical problem number 9. Okay, that is also good. This is also good. So here closing stock is given in trial balance. So according to a general opinion, it will not be shown in profit or loss account. Okay. Purchases are given to you. See what are the adjustments given in this question. So this is an interest on debenture accrued but not due. So this is entered in credit side. So this is a liability. Okay, current liability. Closing stock is more than opening stock by rupees 1,60,000. So this is just a presentation he has given to you that closing stock is more than opening stock by rupees 1,60,000. So he has given you the closing stock also. This is 1,80,000. So he is just interested to tell you that if you are interested to get the opening stock, then opening stock is 1,80,000 minus 160, 20,000. He is interested to tell you that opening stock is 20,000, nothing else. But we know it very well that opening stock and closing stock both are already adjusted in purchases because closing stock is shown in here. Closing stock is shown in here trial balance. If closing stock is in trial balance, this is just a informative thing. Okay. So doubtful debts provision depreciation includes 60,000 building dividend. This dividend we know it very well. This will be just shown in notes. Bill discounted but not yet matured. What it is? This is basically contingent liability. Everyone knows. Okay. So we have two options. One is we can present it in the way because opening stock and closing stock details are given to you. So you may just ignore these details, one thing, and enter purchases of rupees 4,20,000 only. One option. Okay. One option is you can enter purchases of rupees 4,20,000 only, and this closing stock will be shown to balance sheet only, nothing else. Second is you may just present it by a different method. That is, you may just present as it is given in the solution. If you will see the solution, the way he has given you is somehow different. What he has done, as he know that, as he know that what is the value of our, मतलब he has done it reverse. उसने थोड़ा उल्टा कर दिया. मैं आपको करके दिखा देता हूँ. If you will not do by this way, then even then there's no problem. You can show 420 as it is. You may see that what is the result of this calculation. 580 minus 160, it is 420. Actually, our rule is that we should have to give proper presentation. We have a heading, cost of purchases and change in inventories. So he have just shown it due to the reason because we have a heading and we have to show it. Now, what is purchases? What is the amount of purchases? We doesn't know it because he has given you the net purchases. Because when he is writing purchases, it when closing stock is given in balance sheet, that means for it is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, which is equal to 4,20,000. He has done reverse. He says opening stock is 20,000, purchases are X minus closing stock is 1,80,000 is equal to 4,20,000. So what is X? X is equal to 5,80,000. So this is closing stock which is given to you. And opening stock, I have already mentioned you how he has calculated the opening stock, because he says opening stock is 1,60,000 less than the closing stock. Due to that reason, it is 20,000. So opening stock is with you. So we are able to calculate the purchases before making any adjustment of opening and closing stock. And then what he have done, he has made changes in inventory, opening stock minus closing stock. So just to prove the presentation, he have done it. Otherwise, if you will not do, that doesn't mean for your question will be wrong. If you will enter only the purchases as our rule of financial statements, that whenever closing stock is given in trial balance, it is not required to be shown in the profit or loss account. Even then it will be 4,20,000, है ना? But what he has done, उसने क्या किया, उसने उसको जरा घुमा दिया. पहले उसने 5,80,000 की परचेजेस निकाल के डाल दी, फिर उसने ओपनिंग माइनस क्लोजिंग करके 160 ये डाल दिया. तो नेट तो 420 ही डाला है ना उसने भी. तो आप भी 420 डाल रहे हो, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बस एक प्रेजेंटेशन स्टाइल है. अंडर रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस कैपिटल रिजर्व as it is a capital profit. Yes, beta. Sir, machinery account is not adjusted by sale. Then revaluation reserve account also increased by 10,000. Machinery account is not adjusted by sale. We have to adjust it, beta. Revaluation reserve have no consideration for the same. Basically, machinery account जो है हमारा, उसमें तो नॉर्मल एडजस्टमेंट्स रहेंगी, जो हमारी होनी है वही करेंगे. Purchases are not adjusted. Purchases are actually adjusted. Okay. If closing stock is in balance, trial balance, you must have to presume that purchases are adjusted, whether it is mentioned or not. Otherwise, it cannot come into the balance sheet. Na? You people must know the journal entries. Na? How any item will come into the balance sheet when it is generalized. So when closing stock is generalized, then it is generalized as post closing stock amount debit to purchases. Okay. If anything is an adjustment, that means for it is not yet generalized. So if we have to generalize it, we have to do accordingly. This is a part of final accounts which you have done in sole proprietorship form, beta. Sir, in profit or loss, purchase is not adjusted, it says finished. Says finished. Beta, I have already mentioned you, this is adjusted. This is a rule of accounting. You should have to go and do the adjustment of final accounts in +1 class of commerce or in CA foundation. Okay, there we are discussing all that thing. Sir, purchase is adjusted. Okay. Srinivasan, you must have to revise your basics of +1 accounting, where adjustment of financial statements are there. There we have specifically mentioned it. Sir, general reserve adjustment not taken. General reserve adjustment not taken. Okay. Beta, in that also he have specifically mentioned you that what he has mentioned. Read it with me. He says directors declared a dividend at the rate of 25% on 2nd of April 2022. Okay. So this is not to be taken into consideration, as we already know that this is not allowed to be done. Then he says general reserve. So transfer to general reserve is 10%. That is allowed. That is to be done. Transfer to general reserve at 10%. So it is to be adjusted in balance sheet. Okay. Dividend is not to be adjusted because it is specifically given in accounting standard. You must have to revise the accounting standard once again. In that, it is specifically given that if dividend is declared after 31st March, even then it will not be allowed to be entered in balance sheet. Okay. General transfer to general reserve is allowed, so that has been done, beta. Happy Merry Christmas to all of you, beta. All the best. Sir, would we close the session? Beta, all the questions you have to do, you have to complete the chapter, come to me with the problems if there is any. Okay, otherwise we'll go for the next chapter on Wednesday. All the best. Sir, could we close the session?